Okay, I'm going to start right here at the corner of the garage and the house, and we will take a trip and see what we got going here. Okay, so if you look at the wood, we just want all this well sanded, all the cracks really well sealed, you know, stuff like that. We just want all that sealed up and all the wood painted. So the guys that did this before just were not into doing it right. Let's see, this right there. So I just want all the old paint chipped away, sanded around, and just, I don't know, when you see this type stuff like this, it's just, it just should have been sanded down. And let's see, this right here, this is the garage door. So this is all wood. All the wood will be hit with semi-gloss. And so she already has the trim picked out, all the paint, and she will buy the paint. She doesn't mind. She wants to buy the right paint. So, okay, so this is, okay, coming over there. And so they, doors. Okay, so, let's see, what do we got here? So we really want all this sealed up here. All these cracks and stuff. Why they didn't do it before, I don't know, but see all that? Oh, anything, let's say it this way, anything bugs can crawl into. You know, and I know they didn't do the top of the door up there. They were supposed to, but also, speaking of doors, we want the door itself painted too. She's undecided what color yet, but I'm working on her. And then this ramp, the bottom of it needs to be painted, because that's where wood and water will meet. And it will rot, so cat paint. Alright, so all those edges, and then up here, all that needs to be caulked in, and then all these poles right here. You can see, I think there's like 20 poles, I don't know, but they all need to be well bonded, sealed, primered, and there's the sun. So the walking, this needs to be sealed, bondoed, and stuff. And so I've noticed that these things were coming out on some of them. And that all needs to be put in right and sealed. No cracks, nothing. Okay, all right. So they did do the paint on the wood here. They were supposed to put 2 coats. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I think it's fine, but it just seems there's some areas that should have been sealed better. But mostly on this part is the trim. I wish they would have put caulking up there on the top, because these are just all wonderful areas. Yeah, see, I wanted them to caulk this up here and seal it. That right there. And then this is an interesting thing right here. Whoever originally put that like that, you can see how it's bending. And so they just put the cheapest plywood there. And they did it here. I wanted to replace that and put something there that won't warp. Yeah, it's like this all the way down almost. Okay, so yeah, so I wanted all this sealed up there. Oh God, these guys were bozos. Look at that, they didn't seal that. Anyways, so caulking, the trim here on the doors, So what are we at now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows, 6, 7 windows. And then all this up here. Oh boy, this is just running in now, you know. See, even before they were supposed to primer it, they were supposed to seal all this stuff, and they didn't. So, on the poles. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's give you a long shot of what it looks like. How's that? How fun is that? So, look at this. So, this whole trim, really the whole trim, we want it, I don't know, what do you call it, sand belt? And just do it right. And just remove all the paint down to the wood, flatten it out, make it look nice. And all that paint, because it's, whoever did it years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, they didn't primer it. Of course they didn't. Why should they? And then the fence here, the pens, I kind of want it, you know, this part here painted the color of the trim, just, you know, up to here, just the heavy duty and metal, and probably the bottom right there. That would look better and stuff. Just so it matches the trim. Yay! Let's see. So all the cracks get filled in, so you can see all the way down there, all the way down. All that needed to be filled in, and they didn't fill in the top like they were supposed to, because why should they? And then another pole, I fill it in, fill it in right. Okay. All the way down. Okay. So we're talking probably hundreds of years worth of work. So a lot of these poles were placed and stuff, but some of the older ones are still here, so they need to be properly patched. Let's see. Yeah, so I knew it. Did they looking up there? They were supposed to seal all that, and all that was supposed to be sealed. And then here, it was supposed to be sealed, and of course, watch. Okay, all right. So let's take a step back. Trim up there needs to be done. All that. I mean, some is better than others because, you know, the sun wasn't killing it, but so the stucco itself has already been painted, so we're not worried about that. So basically all the wood, another window, do the wood trim, sand. Do it up here? I don't think so. Do the trim. Okay, so this should be fun here. Okay, so we asked them to sand this and prep it properly, and so you can see how bad it is. Look at this shit. Look at that, it's just so crappy. Let's see right there. Is that focusing? It's not focusing. That's better. Anyways, all over there. So the whole this whole thing should have been sanded first before they sanded it, but of course not. Let's see. Did they sand it? So up here should have been. Let's see. Can I see that? Did they do it? Yeah, it was supposed to be caulking. This is all supposed to be caulked. And then up there on the top, when I went up there and took out the paper, I noticed that the bottom part of this window wasn't caulked at all. So it's like the window itself is exposed underneath it. So, okay, so this is the back patio. This is kind of the worst area where it was chipping and chipping. So this whole wood thing, all of this wood from this point, this point here onward, all the wood needs to be carefully gone over, sanded, or it's really bad, and blah blah blah. And yeah, it just looks hokey. So I think we have 2 doors that need to be done. I think this one's kind of done. I wish that these dents, you can see the doors are metal. It would have been nice if they would have bondoed it like they were supposed to before they painted it, but no. And so this door, I think the door will say is done, and just do the trim. But is that semi-gloss or is that flat? I don't know. Hard to tell. And, I forgot to show you the stucco areas. Okay, so this was a stucco area. We wanted to repatch. I went back over it with a putty knife, and I was discovering it was just coming up left and right. So all these things need to be sealed. All the cracks, and then seal it well, paint it well. Okay, so this is the shed back here. Oh yeah, so this crack back here along the edge, I wanted that sealed up. Yay. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Alright, so up here, so they painted over this, and then I found a loose piece, and then I just kind of picked at it, and suddenly it just all corroded apart. It was termited. The place was termited about 3 weeks ago. So I'm pretty sure these are just old termite damage, but they didn't even bother with it. So I know this is going to be tickler, but all this stuff, something should have been caulked into that, because it's going to rain. Let's see. All this just came right off. They didn't prime it, they didn't test it, nothing. Okay, and then over here, same thing with this. It should have been sealed. And then it only gets better. This is my favorite unhappiness is, the guy left this there. He didn't bondo it and fix it. And then when he cut the bottom of the door, it doesn't look straight, of course. So I can't put anything underneath it to seal it from the rain. So anyways, a lot of this just needs to be sanded back over, made it get smooth, and then primered. Okay, so this is back here, and that needed to be caulked. Okay, so you've seen one area that needed to be okay, so we're back at the original spot. This is where we started. That was the whole house, but I wanted to show you one more thing for the stuccoing. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so they did a little stuccoing here, and then of course I started noticing there were some chips coming up, and so I went, hey, look at that. They didn't test, check the rest of it. Yeah, so and then there's one more stucco area back by the other patio door. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. All that up there on the top. All the poles, the trim, and yeah, okay. This up here. I hope this is a short video. Yeah. Hey, look. I've got a hole in the screen. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, let's do this. So that's looking this way. That's looking that way. And oh yeah, this was the final stucco spot right here. And maybe the wood needs to be bondoed there a little something. We had a lot of termites in there. And I don't know if anything can be done with this door, but we'll see. That was my doing. I was picking at it and I went, holy cow. Alright, and then let's get a long visual. So on the top, we got the chimney painted, but there's a whole bunch of these little things. I think there's 9 or 11 of them sticking out the back here. And so we can paint all those too. So the skylines themselves, let's see, where are they? There they are. So that's all metal. So I don't think we have to bother with those. But on the inside, the wood needs to be checked and see if it's rotting, because I don't think the wood itself was painted. Of course not. Why would they paint the wood after 20 years? Yeah, so look at that on. Okay, anyways, that in a nutshell is most of it, 99% of it, of the painting that needs to be done on the trim. Let's see. Can we see that? Yeah. It's not adjusting, so it is. Okay.